Hi, welcome to The Connectors, the official CCBC Connection podcast where we find the connections between us all. We're your hosts, Attia Robinson
and John Fitzhugh. Today we have Josh Banner, student reporter for The Connection, with us. He is here today to discuss his article, CCBC Helps to Distribute Vaccines.
Josh, thank you for being here today. Would you mind introducing yourself? What's your major and why did you join The Connection?
I am Josh Banner. I major in journalism. I'm actually transferring to the University of Maryland next year, which I'm pretty excited about. I want to become a journalist. I thought the CCBC connection is a great way to, get started, to practice writing more in the journalistic style. And I just love putting things out there that I wrote for other people to enjoy. And that's why I want to become a journalist to begin with. So that's why I wanted to join the CCBC connection, to at least try it out, and I've been really enjoying it so far.
Can you tell us what prompted you to write this article?
I wanted to write about something involving CCBC, especially CCBC XX, where I would attend. And when I heard the news about CCBC distributing the vaccine, I figured that'd be a great article to write about, because I figured, the vaccine is the biggest news story going on right now. Everyone wants to know more about it. I figured getting the news out is a good way to kind of get more people involved in wanting to become vaccinated or just become more educated in that. So that's why I also kind of just wrote about, like, the all the news that's going on with the vaccine, about, where we are at in terms of distributing the vaccine, and also how you can get vaccinated. And I wanted to make sure everyone knew that if they do want to get vaccinated, they could do it right here at CCBC.
That's really cool.
Yep. So speaking of it being close to home, do you think that CCBC hosting the vaccination site is important for the community?
I think so. I think as many places that can distribute vaccines should be able to distribute the vaccine. I know I personally, I got vaccinated like an hour away, because that was the first place where I was available to do it. So I drove an hour to, I think it was Montgomery County. But I do think that having as many places that are open for people to get vaccinated as possible is definitely a good thing. So I'm really happy that CCBC is distributing the vaccine. And I just love whenever places pop up, because I think it's also just like a cool thing to see, like how anywhere you go you can kind of see that we're all bonding together to for this one cause. So I'm really happy that CCBC is taking a part of it.
Do you know the days, times, and locations for everyone to get the vaccinations at CCBC? And can people easily find it on the CCBC website?
Yeah, I remember it is on the CCBC website, but yeah, they're attempting to do it every Friday. Like, if you go into the health and wellness center, I believe, you get to see all the chairs set up, and it's just really cool seeing it set up that way, because usually when you go into the health and wellness center, it just looks a lot different.
What was it like when you went to the vaccination site at CCBC?
So when I went, it was the one week where they didn't have it, but I did see the chairs. They were all like set up. I was upset because I got there a little later than I wanted to, and I figured that everyone just had already gotten all the vaccines had been distributed. I asked around people that were working there, and I got some interesting insight as to what it was like when the vaccines were distributed. I even talked to the guy who was responsible for putting it all together, and he would just talk about how it's like this like nonstop system, like it just keeps going. And I know when I got vaccinated, it was I was impressed at how great the service was, how everyone kind of had their own role, and they for one, they I thought they had great service. Like, I was kind of nervous, but they made it so that I, was a lot calmer. They would ask me how my day's going, how, if I have any plans for the weekend, things like that. And they just have this great system going, where I'm just in awe that they're able to distribute as many vaccines as they do, because it truly is like quite a work of art when you see it in action.
Do you have anything else you want to add about the article or the vaccinations at CCBC?
I think it's just a great, I guess, part of history. Like, when you look back at things that CCBC has done, or just like when you look back at this whole COVID crisis, and you look at what CCBC has done to help get everyone vaccinated. I think when we look back at it, it's just going to be a nice thing to remember, and to remember that we were all here witnessing the vaccinations, and how we were all bonding together to help each other, because we don't often have that, like, where we aren't often working together on this level. So this is one of the few times where we're all working together, because usually we're very individualistic. We're all fighting for our own beliefs or our own goals. But with COVID, I mean, you still have a lot of people who might debate like whether or not they should get the vaccine. But I think we're all on the same mindset. We all want this whole thing to end. So it's a great bonding experience for us all.
Before we wrap up, do you have any news articles coming out soon on the connection?
Yeah, I do write a lot about sports, because that's like my favorite topic. I also wrote about, history of March Madness, where I just go into like the history from its origins to where it is now, which I really was a fan of. It's a bit longer than usual, but I really enjoyed it. I also finished writing that it might show up a few days later. I wrote about the Ravens off season so far and my thoughts on it, and so be on the lookout for that. And I also I wrote about there was another article I wrote before then. Yeah, it was about, it was a long time ago. When in the Super Bowl, where I wrote about the Buccaneers winning. So be on the lookout for my future articles. My name is Joshua Banner. Remember the name. But yeah, so be on the lookout.
Thank you again, Josh, for being with us today. For more student articles, go to blog.ccbcmd.edu/connection. While you're there, be sure to scroll down to the bottom and subscribe so you don't miss any new articles.
This podcast is produced and hosted by New Media Collective students Keith Anstead, Attia Robinson, Ian Cathis, and John Fitzhugh. Thank you to Ian Cathis for editing and sound design. Our theme music is Man Out of Town by Forget the Whale. See you next time.